talk about those drones.
Good morning, General. And the soldiers, good morning. This used to be my office in the past. I am worried about this allegation of surveillance of the Philippines by elements from the United States. Considering that there is the existence of Mutual Defense Treaty, the Visiting Forces Agreement, the Military Assistance Agreement of 1949, and then recently the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement. The allegation of the presence of surveillance gadgets with the implication that we are being surveilled by our ally is disconcerting. That's the reason why I ask General Katapang if the drones that were alleged to be surveillance drones can be recovered. And indeed, we recovered two. And we would like to present it to you to once and for all settle the issue of surveillance of the Philippines by an ally. Ito po na-recover sa Quezon, ano?
One in Quezon and one in Cagayan, sir.
One in Quezon and one in Cagayan. The issue is this: if indeed these are surveillance equipment, the owners of this equipment will not allow it to be lost. They will recover it. But target drones are dispensable. Kasi kung ako ang merong surveillance equipment, hindi ko pwedeng payagan na mawala yan. Ano? And I am very sure that the design of the equipment will make it sure that the contents of the drone in the form of audio surveillance gadgets, visual surveillance gadgets like the camera will have to be recovered. Di ba? So here, is the drone available for everyone to examine? It's coming. So that's what it is. Let us, once and for all, settle the issue. We are not a target of surveillance by our allies. What else can be gained through the use of a surveillance equipment? We are an open society. Pumunta ka lang sa dyaryo, nandun eh. Yung kailangan mong information eh, nandun eh. We are an open society. Especially so, we have cooperative programs with our allies. Not only with the United States. This includes Australia. This includes, as a matter of fact, countries which are in the same boat as we are in relation to the stability of the West Philippine Sea. May cooperative efforts na tayo. Maraming bayan, sa ibang bayan. So let us settle the issue. This issue, particular issue. Okay. Ano questions?
So, sa magtatanong ng mga reporters, mayroon tayong microphone on the left side. The good congressman is now ready to answer questions. Please.
On that issue first, on that issue of the drone. Then I will take questions relative to other issues. I know what is your interest now.
Alexis Romero.
Congressman, we understand that these issues have been addressed previously, I think weeks ago, about the drones in Cagayan and in Quezon. So why the need to clarify it right now? What new developments?
This has been raised that could influence the decisions of policymakers. As a matter of fact, because of this, even the EDCA is being questioned. And so therefore, we need to clarify it. Okay?
So it has nothing to do with the alleged U.S. involvement in Mama Sapa, no?
Ano? Mama na paano?
Mama Sapano, sir. Mama Sapano.
Yung nga, na paano? Yung nangyari dun. Has nothing to do with that.
Thank you
Okay? Now, I would like to remind us that there are, even in the United Nations, a resolution that would allow cooperative efforts among nations in the global war against terrorism. There is also such an agreement at the regional level. So, exchanges of information, exchanges of intelligence information in the global war of against terrorists is allowed and is called for. Kanya, yung kung meron mang certain level of cooperation, like information exchanges in our fight against terrorists in southern Philippines, that is called for, as a matter of fact. And if there are cooperative efforts, for example, in responding to emergencies like evacuation, that is called for. The use of certain equipment. What I am against, and I have told this to former President Arroyo and former ambassador to the Philippines from the United States, Ambassador Kenny, what should not be allowed is the participation of American forces in the conduct of combat operations. Hindi pwede sila mag-participate. Otherwise, if they do, then I myself will raise the issue of sovereignty. For example, the issue of sovereignty. I will raise that issue. Pero there are certain levels of activities that can be allowed insofar as cooperation among the allies are concerned, which includes evacuation, which includes probably the use of certain equipment, no? So ganun yun eh. I had told Ambassador Kenny at one time, I said, be careful about the presence of your combat troops in the operational area, even if they get killed. Be careful about that. But most serious of all is in the event that an American soldier kills a Filipino, whether he is a rebel, whether he is a bandit, whether he is a civilian, that should not be allowed. And care must be taken that the Americans should not be present in the conduct of combat operations in this country.
Manny Mugato.
Congressman, good morning. Since there are target drones operating probably within our AOR, are there any other kind of drones that the U.S. and the Philippines are using to monitor rebels or situation in the West Philippine Sea? Are we asking the U.S. to help us for the use of these drones?
Well, that is a distinct possibility. But I am very sure that in the use of this equipment, it is a mutually agreed upon activity. Sabi ko nga di ba? Exchanges of information is called for by the international agreements in this war against terrorism. That should include the use of drones, which we do not have yet. Okay? Ang hindi lang dapat mangyari ay Amerikano participating in combat operations. Hindi dapat mangyari yan.
Any more questions?
Nasaan yung drone? Is it coming? Okay, para makita nyo kung ito ba ay possibly a surveillance drone. Yung target drones are expendable. Expendable yan. Maaaring ginamit yan in the vicinity of the Guam. Yung Guam, malapit lang naman yung Guam Ano? At napadpad dito. Maaaring nagamit yan within international waters near to us. Remember, being the author of the baseline law, I am the author. I was the author of the baseline law of this country. Yung 12 miles defines our territorial waters, where we have absolute jurisdiction, absolute sovereignty. Add another 12 miles to that. That will define the contiguous seas, where we have absolute authority to enforce certain laws. Fisheries, environmental laws, immigration laws, etc., etc. Then, from that, we go to 200 miles exclusive economic zone. Our jurisdiction there has something to do with exploring the natural wealth of those seas. Pero our allies are allowed to Okay? All right. Any questions? Any other question?
Any other questions, please?
Okay. May I go to the second part na? Last Monday, not yesterday, no, not the other day, Monday last week, I filed a resolution in the House of Representatives proposing for the continuance of the hearings on the Bangsa-Moro Basic Law. Because at that time, we had a deadline to meet, which is the enactment by Congress of this law by the end of our session in March. But in that resolution, I proposed that we defer further discussions of 4 issues. And I would like to explain these 4 issues. We should stop discussing these issues until after we are clarified on really what happened in Mama Napano. Mama Sapano. First issue. The provision related to national defense and national security. I am against fragmenting the authority of the Commander-in-Chief on the issue of national defense and national security. Kasi doon sa BBL, nakasaad doon na yung national security, powers of the national security ay hahatiin between the central government and the Bangsamoro. Na kung saan, the national or the central government or this national government will only deal with external security. Internal security will belong to the Bangsamoro. I am against that. We cannot fragment the authority of the central government on the issue of national defense and national security. Hindi ho pwedeng paghatiin yan. Because you reduce the power of the commander-in-chief on the issue of national defense and national security if we allow that in the BBL. The second one we need to examine more closely is the provision which asks for the creation of a separate Armed Forces of the Philippines Command in the Bangsamoro. Area commands are task organizations. We organize the area commands to address a temporary situation. Temporary, ha? Temporary may mean years. You cannot legislate the task organizations of the armed forces of the Philippines. Because task organizations are put together only to address the existing situation in a particular area. I am also against that. Now the third one is the issue of what kind of level of power and authority we are going to grant the chief minister of the Bangsamoro over questions of public order and public safety. Because that translates to control over the Philippine National Police. And you have to remember that there is a very clear provision of the Constitution that there shall be one national police, national in scope, civilian in character. You cannot fragment that authority. That belongs to the central government. The fourth one is the issue of normalization. Let us discuss normalization. When we had the so-called final peace agreement of 1996, we had that normalization by agreeing to the integration of 6,000 MNLF fighters to the armed forces. 6,000, ano? Then we also agreed 1,500 to be integrated with the Philippine National Police, hoping that that will end the fighting in Mindanao. Did it? We did not. There is still the MILF. Lumalago pa. Nandun pa yung BIFF. Not to mention the Abu Sayyaf. Nandun pa rin. Related to the issue of normalization, if indeed we were able to decommission the MNLF fighters, ano nangyari doon sa Kabatangan, sa Zamboanga? 2001 ba yun? Ano nangyari? Inatake nila yung Kabatangan. And recently, last year ba yun? They attacked Zamboanga. Paano nangyari yan? At sino ang umatake? Yung ating kasunduan sa MNLF. Sila rin ang umatake. So kailangan pag-aralan naming mabuti. Kaya hinihingi ko, I have asked 4 things. Number one, an investigation from the OPAP of the incident in Mama Sapano. Investigation by the Armed Forces of the Philippines, by the PNP, by the OPAP, by apat yun eh, OPAP, and the ARMM government. Ngayon, hinihingi ko pa rin yung investigation report that is now supposed to be conducted by the MILF. Kasi nag-iimbestiga rin sila eh. Pero hindi namin mahihinging diretsahan sa MILF. We are asking for a copy of this investigation through the OPAP because Congress has no relationship with the MILF. But OPAP has. Kaya nga, hinihingi ko yung ano niyan. Now, the other one that I'm asking is a copy of the normalization program that is supposed to have been penned in Kuala Lumpur last week. Last week ba yun? Hinihingi ko yung kopya niyan para mapag-aralan namin. Now, this afternoon, I am going to make a motion as a member of the ad hoc committee to suspend, I repeat, to suspend further deliberation of the Bangsamoro Basic Law until after we are clarified through the reports of these investigations. Dumadami nag-iimbestiga eh. You know? Halimbawa, we cannot disregard the results of these investigations, whether it is Department of Justice, Board of Inquiry, the Armed Forces, the OPAP, the ARMM, and even yung sinasabing kung mabubuo yung Truth Commission. We cannot disregard the results of the investigation of the Truth Commission. Kaya hihingin ko rin yan. Matatagalan. So, ibig sabihin, we will not be able to meet the deadline in the enactment of the Bangsamoro Basic Law. As a matter of fact, the feeding frenzy by those who are opposed to the enactment of the law is spreading. Baka hindi maipasa ang Bangsamoro Basic Law. Sana mamaya na muna yan, no? Oh, dalahin nyo na dito. Dalahin nyo na dito.
Sige, Banat.
Yan ba talaga kulay niyan? Eh, yung isa, yung kulay gray. Pero ganito rin. Ganito rin. Okay. Can you describe this?
J3, please come forward. J3. Sino pwede explain? Sino pwede mag-explain kay Senator?
We need somebody to examine it. Now, meron ba itong audio surveillance equipment? Can somebody describe this?
Sir, can I just make Sir, with your permission, I wish to read through the summary of the findings. It is not equipped with any camera or any electronic surveillance. It is a mere target drone used for exercises. That is the description, sir. Sir, we could notice that it is corroded. So the technical inspection reveals that it has been in the ocean for some time already. Hindi po ito bago, sir. And also when it was recovered, the presence of sand inside this drone indicates that the drone was swept to the beach by the current sea. So there is a possibility that it was, it drifted. It merely drifted into our shores. But it was stressed in the technical inspection that it is not a surveillance. There is no electronic. It was a mere target drone used for exercises.
Yan yung drone na nakuha sa Patnanungan, Quezon last year. I forgot the date. Sometime in December. Yes. Yes, na-announce ko na siya. So, ulitin namin. The drone was recovered in Patnanongan, Quezon. Last year. Patnanongan. Patnanongan. Isang town dun sa Quezon. Patnanongan.
It's not that.
Ayan, may marka yan. Ayan.
Sige, babasahin ko yung yung background. Na-recover yan on January 4, 2015 pala. Sorry, no? That is an aerial target drone. Bearing serial number BQ55079. And it was recovered by PNP elements at Sitio Katakian. Busdak, Patnanongan, Quezon. Okay, mag-proceed tayo. Mamaya na tayo magpa-selfie dyan sa ating drone. Alisin na natin yung drone para sa lahat na kukuha ng pictures, please. Last 1 minute
Okay na?
para magpatuloy si Congressman Biason.
Yung, kung may questions, you ask the technical people on this. A surveillance drone cannot be just like that. Pinakakawalan nila. A target drone is simply a target where gunnery is practiced. Even anti-missile is used. So to settle this question once and for all, this is not a surveillance drone. It is a target drone. Yeah. Meron ba kayong telepono doon?
Sir, Maki po sa GMA7. So sir, could it have been possible, sir? Posible po kaya na may drone din na ginamit para i-monitor halimbawa yung mamasapano bago ilunsad yung operation?
Possible. And I will not find anything wrong with that. Especially if there is coordination between them using it and the armed forces of the Philippines. Remember, the agreement, the international resolution asking for the cooperation of nations in this global war against terrorism. Ang katanungan kasi, gagamitin pa ba sa atin yan? Hindi na kailangan eh. Hindi na kailangan. If you can hack transmission through the computers, hindi mo na kailangan yan.
Hindi ko na find data.
Okay?
Pwede Google.
So let me go back to the original issue. I mean, the second issue, the BBL. I will now take questions from you. Remember, I am moving for a suspension of further deliberations on the BBL until after the submission of all the reports of all the agencies that are now conducting investigations on the issue. Now, one question. How do we respond to the threat of the BIFF? Of course, the response cannot be made public. How do we respond to the possibility of a collapse of the peace talks through the collapse of the Bangsamoro Basic Law? Of course, right now, that response cannot be made public. I am worried about statements such as mounting of an all-out war. I do not know if the people who are mentioning this, not necessarily proposing, but of course there are proposals for the mounting of an all-out war. In order for anyone to even consider that, they must understand the collateral damages. The victims of the collateral damages will be the Christians in the BBL, not only in the BBL or Bangsamoro territory, but including us here in Manila. Number two, the Lumads or the indigenous people will be victims of an all-out war. Number three, the peace-loving Muslims could become collateral damage. The infrastructures on agriculture, on education, on health could become victim of an all-out war. Because we have to buy ammunition, we have to buy tanks, siguro, we have to buy cannons, and we may have to increase the strength of the armed forces of the Philippines. Kagaya nung nangyari nung 1972. Nung maglabanan, nung 1972, ang armed forces of the Philippines was only 45,000 strong. But hanggang 4 years after, we had to multiply that 5 times. Saan tayo kukuha ng pangsweldo? Saan tayo kukuha ng pambili ng baril? Saan tayo kukuha ng pambili ng uroplano, ng helicopter, etc., etc. So, we have to be very serious about what we are saying. These responses from some sectors are just making our framing of the Bangsamoro Basic Law more difficult. Nahirapan na nga kami on the issue of the constitutionality of the law. Nahirapan na kami dun eh. Yung addressing the issue of constitutionality. Nahihirapan na kami doon how to reconcile the different opinions, different positions of the Christians, from the Lumads, from the Muslim communities. And within the Muslim communities, iba ang posisyon ng MNLF. Iba ang posisyon ng MILF. Iba ang posisyon ng mga elected officials of the ARMM. Iba ang posisyon ng sultans. How do we reconcile siya? Ang hirap. Lalo pang pinahirap nitong nangyari sa Mama Napano. Mama Sapano. Ayun po. We have. And that's the reason why we should not proceed further in the deliberation of the BBL until after all are clarified and understood by all members of Congress, both houses of Congress. Okay?
Sir, question. Sir, kung hindi nyo kayang maipasa yung BBL sa Marso ngayong taon, kailan po kaya yung inakala nyo na papasa to? Tsaka yung referendum, kailan mangyayari?
Nobody can tell. Not until after we are clarified of the issues being raised. Yung issue ngayon, dumadami. Lalong dumadami. And they are needed to be clarified for us to have a full understanding so that we will be able to enact the proper law. Kung hindi namin naintindihan, baka mali yung batas na aming maipasa.
So, pero si Presidente Aquino meron atang commitment na mailagay yung Bangsamoro by May 2015.
Well, that is now becoming more difficult. It's becoming to be more difficult. Last year, the year before, as a matter of fact, the Bangsamoro proposed law was to be submitted March last year. Di ba? But I discussed the matter with those within the OPAP family. Sabi ko, bago ninyo isubmit sa amin yung BBL, linisin nyo muna yung issue ng constitutionality. Kasi ang hindi dapat mangyari sa BBL ay yung nangyari sa MOA AD. Yung Memorandum of Agreement on the Ancestral Domain. Ano nangyari? Pinirmahan, nag-agree. Somebody went to the Supreme Court, raised the issue of its constitutionality. Ano nangyari? Sabi ng Supreme Court, unconstitutional, hindi pwedeng ipatupad. Suppose we enact a similar, under the similar situation, yung BBL. Ano mangyari? Hindi pwedeng ipatupad. Kung ang issue ng constitutionality ay hindi nilinis. Kaya na-delay ang submission sa amin by 5 months. Dahil nilinis nila yung issue ng constitutionality with the MILF. But even then, meron pa rin akong nasisilip na constitutional issue dito sa BBL. Kaya itong BBL hindi maipapasa in its present form. Yan ay lulusot lamang, quote-unquote, kung ang sense of the Senate, sense of the House of Representatives will end up in the amendments to this proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law. I'll tell you, baka yung lalabas na batas, iba doon sa inaasahan nila. Halimbawa, fragmenting the authorities over constitutional bodies. COA, COMELEC, Professional Regulations Commission, and other such constitutional bodies. Fragmenting. Pero ako, because of my area of competency is in the area of defense and security, hindi ako papayag na hatiin yung power ng Commander-in-Chief. Hindi ako papayag. And that is going to be a proposed amendment to the BBL. One of them, creation of a separate AFP command, another one. Powers of the Chief Minister, another one. And the shape of the normalization program, kailangan examinin namin yan. At yan ay lalong tumindi ang pangangailangan ng pagbusisi dyan dahil sa nangyari doon sa Mama Sapano. Ayun po. Kaya, deadline next month? No way. No way. Dumadami ang question. At ang motion ko nga, antayin mo na lahat yung investigasyon na yan, mapag-aralan namin bago ipagpatuloy ang deliberation sa Bangsamoro Basic Law. Okay?
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Let us now proceed to the second part. The Chief of Staff will answer questions related to the Mama Sapano incident. So para mabilis tayo, please raise your hand. Proceed
Sir.
sa ano. Sige, Manny, please.
Mauna
One
na ako.
question and one follow-up question. May schedule si Sir.
Sir, this is not Mama Sapano. This is in connection with the Scarborough Shoal incident where the Chinese Coast Guard ships rammed our fishing boats. Did you get a report already on what happened?
We will look into that, but I have not yet received any report.
Thank you.
Next question, please. Sino yung sunod? Joy Cantos.
Good morning, sir. Sir, what is your assessment on Mama Sapano? Could you say that the command itself is suicidal in nature? Because the sub-commandos were obviously a swarming prey to more than at least 1,000 MILF rebels.
Well, that is up to the PNP to say that. Our investigation looked into was there a shortcoming on the part of the AFP when the PNP, who were already beleaguered at that point in time when they launched the operation, did we have lapses or shortcomings in helping the PNP address the situation that they are in?
Sir, how about the 300 sub-commandos standby forces? They're just waiting for the troops that were inserted in the rebel enclavement. Do you think they committed a pusillanimous act on combat?
I think that's again up to the PNP to explain because they are not AFP troops.
Okay. Next. Ace Romero.
General, you mentioned, I think last week, that the peace talks prevented you from acting during the incident. Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, we came there to reinforce them, but the reinforcement was to extricate them, not to join the fight with the MILF or BIFF or whatever combat units they were engaged.
So the peace talks was an impediment?
Yes, because we signed an agreement that there will be a mechanism that if firing starts, what we will do is to put a stop on the firing first. Parang ang purpose nun na peace talks is if there will be skirmishes or clashes or engagement, we will ask the mechanism, the ceasefire mechanism, to stop the fighting.
Do you think the peace talks will serve as an impediment in succeeding operations, yung mga susunod na po na operations against terrorists, because it is already shackling the armed forces from implementing its mandate?
Well, we have an agreement. It's stated here that it does not prevent us from operating. Ang importante lang dito is we have to coordinate. No? If the PNP will operate, ang ano nakalagay dito, PNP units may either operate as part of the joint AFP-PNP force or as a single force in the conduct of combat operations, subject to the following. When operating jointly with the AFP, tasked PNP units shall be attached or placed under operational control of the AFP with the operational responsibility of the area of operations. When operating independently as a single force, PNP units shall take orders from their parent unit but must coordinate with the nearest tactical unit of the AFP to ensure a coordinated and focused operations in a particular area. The AFP unit that has operational responsibility over the area of operations shall be furnished by the PNP of the unit's operational plan and after operations report.
Huli na lang po, nasabi po ni Secretary Duresa kanina na hindi naman po kailangan makipag-coordinate sa MILF kung ang hahanapin nyo po ay yung mga high-value targets or yung mga high-profile terrorists. What do you say to this, General?
Palabas mo yung mapa. Asan yung map? There was a need to coordinate kasi papasok po sila sa MILF area eh. So, lapit mo nga. Ito po yung encounter area. Pero nandito po yung 105, MILF, 106, mayroong 118, mayroong BIFF, may MNLF, may PAGS. So there was really a need to coordinate. Please use the mic.
Sir, kung dyan po yung encounter area, nasaan po ba yung AFP nun? At sinasabi niyo po ngayon na tumulong naman po kayo
Opo.
during the operation.
Nandito po yung 45th IB. Nandito po yung Bravo Company ng 45th. Andito po yung encounter area. So may fire base kami. Ibig sabihin, meron kaming artillery units that can respond. Ito po yung mga units na available.
So kung ninyo, sir, na 55th SAF,
Tumulong naman po kami. In fact, records which show that by 0900 on or about, nag-link up na po yung forces ng PNP at saka AFP. No? Let me just... Ito po, on or about 250920, troops of the 23rd and 14th Mechanized and 62nd DRC linked up with the elements of the 45th SAC troops at vicinity Tugana Lipaw in Maguindanao. Opo.
at ano po nangyari, sir? Nung nag-link up po sila?
Nung they went to the area and they were fired upon. They cannot penetrate kasi hindi nga po nila alam kung saan yung lugar ng beleaguered SAP units. Please use the mic.
Please use the mic.
Nagkaroon po, nakapag-establish po ba sila ng contact doon sa unit na napalaban?
Unfortunately, they have to create a TCP, Tactical Command Post, the PNP, so that we will be getting the information from them. Nakapag-create sila ng TCP 2:30 in the afternoon na po. So, practically wala po tayong contact sa tropa ng SAF units.
When the responding AFP and PNP troops, when they were fired at, did they fire back?
Opo, nag-return fire po. In fact, natamaan po yung mga gulong nung B-150 and siguro other armor assets.
Oo, para malaman yung sino yung pumuputok sa...
May lumapit po. Pero nga po, dahil may firefight, hindi natin malaman kung saan nanggagaling yung putok. They still have to verify kasi nga po, we do not know where we're going and we were expecting yung 45th SAC will be the one to lead us because they should know where the position of the 55th SAC and the 85th o 84th SAC. Dalawa po yung encounter area eh. Merong area ng 84th SAC that was the one tasked to get Marwan, and then merong 55th SAC which was the supporting force. But unfortunately, these two units were engaged in the firefight.
Totoo ba, sir, na nauna pa nakapasok ang chopper ng US para ma-evacuate yung mga wounded SAF personnel sa area?
Oh, I do not know about that.
Gamitin natin ang mic and please raise your hand.
Sir, nabanggit niyo po kasi na you were expecting the 45th SAC na sila po yung makakasama para ho pumasok, kasama yung tropa
Actually,
ng AFP.
nag-joint forces na sila.
Tapos sir, anong ibig sabihin nun? Is there an insinuation na yung mga taga-SAF ay hindi talaga sinamahan o ginaid yung mga military na they link up with para malaman kung nasan eksakto yung tropang na pin down?
Well, that's not part of our investigation. That's something that we still have to find out.
So sir, hanggang saan lang po sila umabot? Nakalapit po ba sila dun sa 55th?
Nakalapit po sila kasi na-extricate po nila yung mga tropa ng 84th SAC.
Sir, kung nakalapit po sila, anong oras na po sila nakalapit?
Unfortunately, ang full extraction was 23:30 na o 11:30 na ng gabi.
Sir, kung nakalapit po sila sa area ng 84th SAP, yung 55th SAP po ba nalapitan nila?
Wala sa report yun. We're still verifying kung nakalapit din yung tropa doon.
Sir, may we know yung exact location kung saan na-extricate ng joint troops yung mga casualty ng yung SAF na nag-assault?
Sa Lidwasan o Chairman Lidwasan, ano bang gusto mong malaman? Yung 55th o yung 84th SAC?
Yung 84th po, napuntahan kanyo yung lugar. Ano po bang lugar yon?
Barangay Tuga na Lipaw. Ang extraction area. Meron pang isa yung Pindasawan ba yon area? Pinsandawan. Doon sila napaengkwentro. Pero ang link up point is doon na sa barangay Tugan na Lipaw.
Okay. Next question, please.
Ay, good morning, General. Sir, you mentioned barangay Tugan na Lipaw. That is the exact encounter point. Bakit hindi sila na-extract agad kung nag-meet naman pala doon sa area na yon?
Gabi na kasi.
Sir, bakit po inabot ng gabi? Bakit umabot na 11:30 pa ng maghahating gabi na? So, ibig sabihin, sir, halos isang buong araw, sir, yung lumipas bago nakalapit yung military?
Well, kasi nga hindi natin alam yung exact na lugar nung i-extricate na forces. There was no contact. I was informed that at least 2.
Sir, you've already mentioned earlier, no, in past interviews that the call for help came a little too late. How much time did you have to send your troops? How much time? When were you informed and what time did they arrive? Kasi I would suppose in 30 minutes, troops can be in that area.
Well, you know, the area is really hard to manage or hard to traverse. Marshland ito. And then we have to come in full force. And then, of course, there was ongoing negotiation for a ceasefire. Kasi pumasok na din yung CCCH. No? So we want to give the primacy of that ceasefire agreement. That's why it took time to tell everyone to put a stop on the fighting.
All this time, all the while that we knew that our forces, our SAF troopers were being killed already, sir.
Well, I think really it took time for the forces to put a stop on the fighting. But as early as 6 o'clock in the morning, nagpa-firing na sila. So really, and then they were not telling us where the exact location was. So we had a difficult time locating them.
Sir, last question. Is it true that the first call for help came from General Espina to General Rustico Guerrero just because magmista sila? Was that really the first call for help?
I think that simultaneous yon. Also, General Napeñas was telling General Pangilinan about the situation, and also General Guerrero and General Espina were communicating about the firefight going on.
Have you given the copy of your investigation to the President, sir? You said tomorrow.
Yes, I have submitted my copy.
Will it be open to the public, sir?
Well, I think this report is confidential. That's why we are here to tell you what really transpired, just to keep the public informed on how come the armed forces was not able to immediately respond to the call for reinforcement.
And that would be, again, sir, you said it was too late. The call was too late. Yun lang talaga ang reason why it was hard to...
Well, you know, when you go to war, it takes weeks to prepare. Hindi ito party na, party tayo mamayang gabi, dala ka isang red wine, share mo yun. It will take time for coordination. Because we go there, we will have an skirmishes with the MILF, BIF. We do not know what will happen next. They were there to execute a law enforcement operation, but unfortunately, they ran into the MILF, BIFF, and other armed group. So it really was a very difficult situation, and we just have to manage it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir, was the Air Force used in extricating the SAF?
No, kasi nga, the chopper cannot even land in that marshland.
But, sir, in yung mga officers, yung mga commanding officers natin on the ground during that time, they could have used the Air Force since wala kayong information kung saan ang location ng SAF and kalaban through the sky, yung parang meron silang chopper man lang, kahit passing through lang. May ginawa po ba yun?
We cannot do that because there was a firefight. They might think that we are reinforcing the SAF and then our choppers will be shot at. So talagang we have to make sure that the ceasefire will have to be implemented. And hindi rin alam ng piloto kung saan sa pupunta. No, we will just get lost in that marshland.
Sir?
Sir?
Next question, please.
Sir, can you confirm you were quoted saying you knew about the SAF operation as early as November? What was the military role in that operation that you knew about?
We were the support role because it was a law enforcement operation.
When you say support role, sir,
We will just be prepared to, if in case they need reinforcements or help from us.
and if they coordinated with you on this January 25 operation, when was the time they should have called you to say we have this operation? How should the process have been followed?
Yeah, that's why we had General Guerrero, General Lapeñas, the Director Lapeñas, General Pangilinan, General Magnaye, the Air Force Commander, 3rd Air Division, had a meeting, I have to correct that, December 23, to iron out all the details of the tactical operation.
And in the details, sir, the support role coming from the military is to stay outside the operation area?
Unfortunately, there was no outcome of that meeting because I was told by General Guerrero, General Peñas did not discuss what the coordination. There was no coordination in as much as the intelligence chief was not around to discuss the concept of operations.
So you expected another meeting before the operation should have proceeded, sir?
We expect that there will be a tactical planning so that we will know if they have an engagement, or they are beleaguered, we will know where to come in, provide the air support, artillery support, the ground troops, and the exfiltration area. So these details will take a while. It's not
A month,
now
sir?
you-
A month, a week?
Maybe a week's time.
Thank you, sir.
General, I will just press on the coordination because you said we still need to coordinate with the MILF in going to that area even if we are running after a high value target. But I think meron pong 2002 AJAG rules stating na yung coordination is only for regular operations pero yung mga high value targets like Marwan and Basit Usman, hindi po kailangan i-coordinate with MILF. Are we now saying that yung MILF is above this agreement? Are we subservient to the MILF on this?
No, but there's also a provision that you will submit the high value targets. The names of the high value targets.
To whom po?
I think to the party.
To the
Both parties,
MILF po.
yes.
Hindi naman po kaya itago nila yon before we strike?
Well, that's the fog of war that you have to really balance all of these things. Because what they did was an law enforcement operation. They can just come in and be able to exfiltrate. But unfortunately, their plan to exfiltrate before being seen by the various forces here failed. So I think that's the price we have to pay for not having a well-coordinated plan on how to support them if and when there will be problems during the execution of the operation.
So it's a matter of trust na lang po. We just have to trust them on this.
Well, of course, that is important. We have to trust each other.
Isa na lang po, just curious because your spokespersons yesterday said that the report will be made public once you submit it to the BOI. Why suddenly it's now confidential?
It's confidential, the report to the President.
Okay. Pero meron po kayo i-release in public? Yung report po ng fact-finding committee niya?
I told my PIO, I will release the incident, the chronology of events of what transpired so that we'll be able to clear our name that indeed the armed forces was there to support them even when the firefight already started.
Pero yung fact-finding report po, yung full text, are you releasing it in public, to the public?
I think we have to respect the Bureau or the Board of Inquiry. They will be the one to declassify it because this is a report that is considered confidential.
Kasi if I recall, your spokespersons mounted yesterday that you are for transparency po. So are we hiding something?
We are not hiding something. We are telling you what happened. This is the report, the chronology of events.
Pero yung full report po hindi po i-release.
This is something that have to be submitted to the Bureau Board of Inquiry, and we will not publish it in as much as this is a confidential report to the Board of Inquiry.
Thank you, General.
Sir,
Next question, please. Rochelle, please.
Sir, good morning. Rochelle Dinglasan, GMA News Online. Sir, Pinoy as the Commander-in-Chief, do you think, in your opinion, that he has an accountability of what happened in Mamasapano clash?
I don't think so because, we were ordered by the President to coordinate. And I think we failed in that order to coordinate.
We, ibig sabihin po, sir, AFP and PNP.
And the
nagkaroon
PNP.
ng, okay. Pero sir, sino exactly sa PNP and sa AFP kung nagkaroon ng problema sa coordination? Would you pinpoint kung sino yung nagkaroon ng problema talaga sa coordination?
I think the Board of Inquiry will be the one to look into that.
Sir, may na-break bang chain of command or na-violate na chain of command on relation to the Mamasapano clash?
I don't think so. There was no break in the chain of command.
Okay, salamat.
Okay. Next question, please. Manny ulit.
you said a while ago that the forces do not know where exactly are the troops fighting the MILF or BIFF. Di ba alam ni Director Napeñas kung nasaan yung tropa niya?
I think General Peñas or Director Napeñas should be the one to answer that question.
So, dapat meron siyang coordinates. Ibig sabihin, hindi rin alam nung tropa na nasa field yung coordinates nila sa mapa.
Yes.
Sir?
I think
Next question.
that's up to them to really give us the coordinates.
Sir? Sir?
Oh, next.
What was your intel on Marwan before January 25?
Marami na pong operations kay Marwan eh. Against Marwan, the operations conducted against Marwan and Usman as prepared by my J3 as far back as 2005, July 11, 2005. There were already operations being conducted.
Based on your intel, sir, where was he last located before January 25? Do you have info on that, sir?
Wala kaming information about the whereabouts of Marwan.
The PNP says they have intel that Marwan is there. Did you know this, sir?
No. We are receiving general locations, but it's not a specific location of where Marwan was.
So you were shared the info na he might be in Maguindanao, particularly Mamasapano.
We did not know. I did not receive any information that he was in Mamasapano.
So the PNP did not give this detail even before the operation. Wala silang yung intel ng PNP.
Wala rin po na intel information na
Hindi
share
po ba
sa
dapat
amin.
ang intel community nagtutulungan sa mga ganyan since this is a high value target?
Opo, dapat po ganun ang protocol.
Then wala po kayo natanggap even before the operation.
Wala po.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, next. Meron pa ba? Okay, George.
Hi sir, magandang umaga po. Sir, by any chance, kanina sa Congressman Biazon mentioned about coordination between the U.S. government and the armed forces in case that a drone will be used in a particular area. So, by any chance, sir, in the past months, nag-coordinate ba ang U.S. government sa inyo in the usage of a drone or surveillance drone sa area ng Mindanao or particularly sa Maguindanao?
No, there was no coordination on that.
But sir, in that particular incident, wala po kayong alam or alam niyo po ba kung may ginamit na drone doon sa Maguindanao?
Wala po.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Last questions, please.
Last question. With regards to Rep. Biazon's lecture, sir, what are your expectations on BBL po? Sir, if ever na hindi maging maganda yung outcome, meron po ba tayong mga contingency plan? Kasi he's right that it would be the civilian ang collateral damage po rito and the MLF will be engaged in gerrymandering in the area.
Well, I think the Mamasapano incident is an eye-opener for us to look really into that Bangsamoro bill that we are crafting so that we will avoid in the future these kinds of incidents. And we are still in full support of the passage of the Bangsamoro law for peace and prosperity of Mindanao.
Sir, what is the implication of the Mamasapano clash in the peace and security operations in Mindanao as well as dun sa operations mismo po ng AFP?
Well, of course, it opened up so many things. And I think the CCH and the AJAG are now meeting with their counterparts, and they will submit also recommendations on how to further enhance this cooperation of if there will be operations, how do we ensure that this incident will not happen again?
Was this a big blow to the relationship between the AFP and the PNP?
Well, I think this is something that we have to look into, and we have to look back on the joint agreement on the conduct of AFP and PNP operations.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Meron pa pahabol?
Please repeat your question.
There is a call from civilians and from bishops for the president to resign. So, what do you think the armed forces in this call? What is the position of the armed forces?
I think the president has a mandate with the people, and the election is coming soon. So I think it's better to we have to allow the president to finish his term because he is the duly elected, duly constituted authority of the country.
Ano po ang reaction niyo, sir, sa mga kudeta na namang naglulutangan ngayon sa issue ito?
Wala pa po kaming natanggap na report dyan. We will look into that statement. But as of now, we are trying to concentrate on this issue so that between the AFP and the PNP, we will build back the relationship, the trust and confidence that we have built for the longest time. Wala nang kailangan loyalty check. We are loyal to the Constitution and to our duly constituted authorities.
Totoo ba, sir, na buhay pa si Marwan at hindi daw totoong si Marwan yung napatay ng SAP doon sa loob?
That is something that the PNP can answer.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Gerald Katapan, sir. And thank you sa lahat ng nagdalo dito. Morning.